AG-332, Terra 2, an idyllic terrestrial planet. Halcyon's wealthiest elite live in its capital city Byzantium, while the colony's labourers live in corporate-owned townships along the frontier. One of the two terraformed planets of the Halcyon system, Terra 2 is a planet much like Earth, with a functioning atmosphere and conditions favourable for human colonisation. At this point in time, Terra 2 is under the control of the Halcyon Holdings corporate board, which aims to control the colonists into becoming corporate slaves. However, this control is falling apart as rogue groups of colonists attempt to break away from the main colony, forming groups of marauders and other thug alliances. Attempting to stop the deterioration of their beloved colony life, the many corporations that make up the HHC that control the Halcyon system make feeble attempts to cover up their failure to maintain control of the gradually rebelling colonists. The Halcyon Holdings Corporation, or HHC for short, is a collection of corporations that have formed a de facto government to control the Halcyon system. This mega corporation of 10 different companies is controlled by the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Board, or just the board. The HHC formed originally to purchase the rights to Halcyon from the Earth Directorate, which is a government that formed on Earth as a planet-wide solution to both continental and corporational disputes after the conclusion of the Great War. The companies that make up the Halcyon Holdings Corporation include both parent companies and their subsidiaries. These companies include Colway Pharmaceuticals, Rizzo's, Universal Defense Logistics, ARMS, Auntie Cleo's, Spacer's Choice, and Terra 1 Publications. If you want to know more about the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, then a card should be popping up with a link to our video on the topic. Throughout the world of Terra 2, there are three main locations or regions of the planet, which includes Emerald Vale, Roseway Gardens, and Byzantium. Emerald Vale is a region on Terra 2 and includes 4 additional sublocations within it. Located in the Emerald Vale region of Terra 2, Edgewater is a town owned and operated by the company Spacer's Choice, with the overseeing figure of the crumbling backwater town being Reed Thompson. The town's main source of work and income comes from the Saltuna Cannery, and the town's source of power comes from the geothermal power plant, but we'll talk more about that in a minute. Since Edgewater is owned by Spacer's Choice, which is known for its cheap and unreliable products, it is not a surprise that the town itself is run down and falling apart. Due to the poor living, working and hygiene conditions of the town, its residents are becoming sick and unable to work, effectively being punished for incompetence. This has led to some residents deserting the town and making their own way out in another location of Emerald Vale. The only thing that seems to be keeping this excuse for a town together is the vicar, Maximilian de Soto. The Saltuna Cannery is the heart and soul of the town of Edgewater, providing the main source of work and income for Edgewater's residents. However, at this point in time, the cannery is actually experiencing supply problems, making their already dodgy practices even dodgier. In order to continue the production of food for the town, Spacer's Choice has chosen to replace the missing ingredients with something of less moral reasoning, with the materials such as minerals and crushed stones, which is ultimately what is making the residents of Edgewater sick. The geothermal power plant is found outside the town of Edgewater in another location of Emerald Vale. This power plant provides both power for Edgewater and the botanical labs. In order to produce the power it does, this plant draws it from a nearby volcano. At this point in time, the plant is currently under a security lockdown due to unforeseen circumstances. An incident occurred where Spacer's Choice decided that it would be a good idea to replace the security guards of the power plant with automechanicals in order to reduce costs and increase safety. However, this plan backfired dramatically as the automechanicals went haywire, killing everything within the plant, which is the opposite to what they wanted. The Botanical Labs is another facility in Emerald Vale that used to be owned and operated by Spacer's Choice, however is no longer under their control. Subsequently, this facility is now home to the deserters of Edgewater, with their leader being Adelaide McDevitt. Owned by Space's Choice, Emerald Vale Community Centre can be found in Emerald Vale, unfinished and swarming with marauders. Originally intended to be home to an exhibition showcasing the history of Emerald Vale, this is still to be completed. Inside there was supposed to be taxidermied creatures of Halcyon, with a mantiquine as the centrepiece of the exhibit. Roseway Gardens is a region on Terra 2 and includes an additional sublocation within it. Located in the Roseway Gardens region of Terra 2, Roseway is a town owned and operated by Auntie Cleo's. What once used to be a thriving and acceptable company town, Roseway has now been partially abandoned and is somewhat falling apart. This has led to visitors being urged to avoid this excuse for a town and travel to other settlements on Terra 2 instead. Byzantium is a region on Terra 2 split up into 4 different districts. Byzantium is the capital city of Terra 2 and is the place where every Halcyon colonist wants to live, but only those with wealth get to. It is a city that tends to keep secrets from the lesser colonists, not allowing them to enter into their beautifully sculpted, futuristic-like city. The city is built in a radial layout surrounding the Halcyon Holdings Corporation in the Acropolis district. The Acropolis district is where the most prominent and wealthiest citizens of both Byzantium and the Halcyon colony as a whole live. This is the district where the Halcyon Holdings Corporation is located in a big skyscraper. The estate district provides homes for those who are not wealthy enough to live in the innermost ring of Byzantium, but are still notable individuals. The docking bays are located around the middle ring of Byzantium, allowing for ships with the correct nav key to land and enter the city. And lastly, Prosperity Plaza is basically the beating heart of Byzantium, where you can see the most displays of trading, commerce and socialism in Byzantium or the Halcyon colony as a whole. The middle of the plaza is home to a large orrery model of the Halcyon solar system. In conclusion, I think it is safe to say that Terra 2 is a planet falling apart, ruled by corporations and their morally ambiguous tactics, with a city full of wealthy looking down on the lesser colonists. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to like, subscribe and hit that bell notification icon if you never want to miss another upload from Project Archivist. If you want to support the channel, then you can do so by becoming a channel member through the join button on the channel homepage. There is also a link in the description. And with that, that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next one.